Hello and welcome to the Restricted Area Podcast, where we talk all things NBA and WNBA from the past week. As a reminder, you can hear this podcast the day before it can be seen on YouTube by checking out Amazon, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. To get you started, I'm your host, Alex Perez, joined by producer Colton Smith. Logan could not be with us today because of some problems with the snowstorm, as we all understand, because
hmm
it's been quite a fun thing to deal with. But anyways, how you doing, Colton?
Doing pretty good, starting up a new job. So the most perfect time to start up a new job is when, there's 20 inches of snow outside. Not actually, but it sure feels like it compared to what we usually get. So I just been, working through that. And I might be a psychopath. I've said this, but I honestly don't really mind it because it's like we haven't had a winter like this in like my lifetime. So
Fair.
I might be psychopathic for that, and I understand, but sometimes I like a little winter. So if it's going to be cold, I like the consistency. Is all I have to say. Like I don't. If it were to be like tomorrow and it goes up to like 50, like it usually does in the winter, that sucks. So I mean, I'm not going to complain about 50 right now, but uh, yeah. So you just found out I'm a psychopath. That's all you need to know. But how are you doing, Alex?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm kind of honestly in the same boat. If it's gonna snow, snow like this. Honestly, it's I work. One of my jobs is out of school, so I got 2 days off. So I was really not complaining that much until I had to get out and dig my van out of the snow.
Mhm.
Don't dig your van out of snow and be in a wheelchair at the same time. Do not recommend. Not a good time. But we made it out, and I got to work today a little late because of ice and other things. But we made it there, and that's really all that matters. But we will go ahead and get started here. NBA All Star reserves are set to be announced this later this week, so we have our predictions for who makes the list. Colton, who you got?
Yeah, so I this is we were talking about it before the show. It's quite the barrel once you get past a couple of the obvious ones here in the USA side. I got Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell, Kawhi, James Harden, and then I have Jalen Duren. I also have Jalen Johnson as well. I kind of went back and forth on those two for a little bit, and I ended up putting them both in. I think they both are having impressive seasons. Would I have pegged them to be all stars? Maybe not, but some injuries have opened up for the chance for them, and I think they definitely deserve to get their time to shine. Scotty Barnes is another one. Jalen Brunson, assuming he gets the amount of games played, and then Carl Anthony Towns as well. I know there's a lot of talk about his play in New York, but it is what it is. I still think he has played like an all star to this point. And then on the European side or foreign side, we have Denny Advia, Alperen Sengun, and Jamal Murray. Pretty clean cut right there. There's only three more spots left. Arguably, there's somebody getting snubbed here, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but um, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, the world is. This is an interesting way to go about the All Star game. We'll start there.
hmm
But people are definitely getting snubbed more on the world side than the U.S. side. But anyways, world I do have the same people: Denny Advia, Alperen Sengun, Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray, eighth in assists per game. Even though he plays with Jokic, so I found that pretty impressive when I was going through the numbers. Denny Advia, 11th in assists, and Sangoon top 15 in rebounds and assists. So they all, again, clear cut, deserve to be the reserves. I honestly don't even understand how they picked the starters because I thought there would be 15 since there are three teams. But, anyways, they don't pay me the big bucks. So other people make those decisions. The U.S. teams, U.S. reserves, I have Harden, Jalen Johnson, Scotty Barnes, uh, Jalen Duren, LeBron, and Cat. LeBron, you just have to put him in as a ceremonious thing. Probably his last one. Still scoring the most fourth quarter points out of anybody this year so far. So deserves it. Cat definitely deserves it. 21 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. And then some other ones I had were Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, Austin Reeves. Probably hasn't played enough games, but was averaging 26 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. I think those are pretty well all-star numbers. Maybe a smaller sample size, but definitely some quality numbers. I also have um, Donovan Mitchell, and then Chet Holmgren because didn't really know who else to pick. Once you get down to the nitty gritty of the U.S. side, but some interesting stats I saw during while looking up those numbers. Ant is third in points per game. Cat is first in rebounds. Um, let's see. Donovan Mitchell fifth in points per game. Harden 14th in points per game and fourth in assists. Duran fifth in rebounds per game and sixth in field goal percentage. And Jalen Johnson sixth in rebounds per game and fifth in assists per game. So I feel like all these guys are guys who definitely deserve the reserve honors.
Yes, sir.
And now that we've discussed that, we will take another look at an exciting week in NBA and WNBA action. What stood out to you, Colton?
Yeah, so I mean, Giannis trade for sure. While we're on the topic though of the All-Star weekend, I figured I'd go through the Rising Star rosters. So there's 4 different Rising Stars teams, all uh, led or coached by Hall of Famers and then Austin Rivers. Uh, we have Carmelo Anthony's team, Team Mello. That they have Stephon Castle, Donovan Clingan, Jeremiah Fears, Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, Colin Murray Boyles, and Reed Shepard. I mean, that's
That's a fun team.
that's a team right there.
Yeah.
Good Lord, I don't see how that team doesn't win by 50.
Melo knew he was going to get that good team.
Yeah, Melo was not messing around. Vince Carter got Montes Buzelis, uh, Cedric Coward, Igor Demin, VJ Edgecombe, Keyshawn George, and then Derek Queen and Jalen Wells. A sneaky team. A sneaky team.
Yeah.
No Team Mellow there, but
They're more of a actual team that you would put together more than an all-star team because the all-star Team Melo looks good so far. But George and Edgecombe will be fun to watch together.
yeah, for sure. And then T Max got Trey Johnson, Con Knipple, AJ Mitchell, Alex Sarr, Cam Spencer, Jalen Tyson, and Khalil Ware. I actually really like this team. I like the Trey Johnson, Alex Sarr. Those are 2 teammates right there. And then you got Con, you got AJ Mitchell. I think it's a pretty strong core, not to mention Khalil Ware as well.
Yeah, Con may go crazy. He may go for the scoring record in the game, honestly.
Yeah, at the way he's been playing.
Yeah.
And then Austin Rivers has the G League All-Stars. He's got Sean East. So these must have been assigned?
Maybe, yeah.
I guess they were assigned. That makes a little more. It says draft results, though. But then why would Austin Rivers end up with all the G League players? I don't know. I'll never be able to understand the
I would say it's
All-Star game,
I would say it's
apparently.
fitting for Austin Rivers, but anyways, that's a conversation for another day.
It is. It's very accurate compared to what we
Yeah.
got here. But anyways, there's a name that strikes fear into my heart. Ron Harper Jr.
Mm.
That's a Purdue villain right there. David Jones Garcia, Yannick Conan, Niederhauser.
Sure.
Elijah Martian, Martin. I can't. The other name messed me up so hard I can't say Martin. Tristan Newton, and then Yang Hansen. I mean, Ron Harper Jr. I didn't realize he was still kicking. Shout out. I hope he keeps it up. And then Sean East. That's a name from the blast from the past for me. But I love that the G League guys get this like stage to show off their talents. I don't. I hope. I'm rooting for him, honestly. I mean, maybe not Austin Rivers, but definitely rooting for the team.
Yeah, Elijah Martin and Yang getting those
Yang.
nods for that is going to be a lot of fun to watch. They probably don't hold much weight in these games, but they'll be fun to watch. There'll certainly be a couple highlight plays at least.
Yeah, don't sleep on Tristan Newton. That's a UConn guy right there.
And when one of these teams empties out their bench at the trade deadline, maybe those G League players get signed to something. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully. But I wanted to switch over to the Giannis talk. It just dropped today at 11:20. That two-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, this came from Shams, of course, is ready for a new home at the February 5th NBA trade deadline. That is right around the corner.
A week from
Or
Thursday.
in yeah, or in the offseason as several rival teams make aggressive offers to the Milwaukee Bucks for him. Later reports have reported that the Warriors, Heat, T-Wolves, Knicks, and Pistons are all apparently in the running. Giannis says he prefers to land on the Knicks, Raptors, and Heat. The Knicks were the first team that came to mind for me. The Warriors are the team that allegedly are being the most aggressive, and the word on the street, I think Logan was the one that said it when I asked for a comment on it, was that the Warriors probably have the best offer. I don't know if I fully believe that. I feel like the Knicks probably have a better offer because I don't really know what the Warriors have outside of Kuminga that would be that attractive. I think the Pistons could put together an interesting offer. I don't know about the fit per se. Obviously, Giannis doesn't really space the floor that much. Um, but I think the Knicks honestly are probably the one I think is going to end up with them. I think they are desperate right now, and I think they will pull the trigger. They can give him Cat, maybe a bench player. I don't think they really have much draft capital to hand over, but
No, not with all those players, but they can certainly hand over some of those players that aren't working out so well right now.
yeah. And that's not to discount the Warriors and their desperation right now as well. So
True.
I don't know. They're trying to get this right, and I do think that's probably the best fit out of all of these, to be honest. Unless the Heat do a Bam for Giannis swap, I think the
Mm.
best fit would be the Warriors because Giannis and Steph Curry would be an absolutely lethal combo right there. I thought that about Damian Lillard, and it didn't really work out the way I thought it was. I think that was kind of more the coaching than it was the fit. I wish we could go on that whole spiel. Jay Crowder also in all caps, as Jay Crowder does, tweeted that he felt that the turning point and the downswing of the Bucks is when they fired Adrian Griffin for that of Doc Rivers. I think that's a pretty obvious statement, to be honest.
Mhm.
Some people disagree. I'm like, well, you said Alex 30-13 when he got fired. I don't remember why he got fired, but I don't. I think that, he had lost the locker room. I don't. It doesn't seem like that. Why would Jay Crowder come out in support of him after all of that? I mean, hindsight's always 2020, but all in all, this is a very interesting deal. It's something that we've talked about. It's always been rumored. Giannis has always turned it away, and now it's finally here. He's decided he wants a new home, and I think there's a lot of teams like the Heat, like the Warriors, like the Knicks that are all very, very hungry for a player like Giannis right now that I think could make a desperate move. I don't know about the Heat making a desperate move. They do at least have cool heads up there, but um, yeah. What do you think about all this? Where do you think he is going to end up, and what team do you think's best for him?
Yeah, most fans would be happy with 30-13, and the Bucks apparently were not. So the obvious solution is hiring Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham. But anyways, enough slander of them for this week, I guess. Uh, the the Bucks. I don't think this makes much sense to trade them to Miami, especially if it's like the Bam trade that you mentioned, because then you have to trade Miles Turner because I don't think they really fit together too much. So maybe not there. The Warriors. That's kind of the one I'm pulling for because I just want to see Steph actually get a good teammate for the first time in a few years now.
I'm with you on
So
that.
that would be nice to see. The Knicks, I do think that is where he ultimately ends up. They just have too many players that they can offer in a package. They don't have draft capital whatsoever. They sold that all for friendship. That's not working out too well, but they do have the players that they can definitely offer. I heard rumors that they were trying to flip Mikhail for Drew Holiday and then flip Cat for Giannis. So if they are able to get moves like that done, then maybe this team that's going in the wrong direction starts to go in the right direction. But anyways, other ones I was thinking of, the Spurs would be really fun. Don't know if they have the assets to do it, but maybe offer up a couple of those guards because they have a plentiful amount of them. The Magic, we've talked about this several times. They're going to be big names at the trade deadline, I think. They need the offensive pieces, and Giannis is certainly one. The Pistons would be fun. The Blazers would be fun, especially with how good they are. As
Ooh.
long as you don't have to blow up that young core, I think they would be a lot of fun. And then, of course, the Los Angeles Lakers would be a lot of fun as well. Um, do I offer LeBron? Maybe. Do the Bucks take that? Probably not. But there's still Austin Reeves, Dalton Connect, who apparently came out today and said he wanted to trade too, and plenty of future first round pick swaps and regular first round picks that they can offer. So I'm going to hold on to this dream, but it probably ends up being a New York Knicks a win in at the trade deadline again because they're really good at that, at least recently.
What about the Raptors? Because that's a team that he mentioned, and I don't know if I see the trade. I think what they would have to give up to get
Hmm.
Giannis would probably just end up putting them in the same spot the Bucks are. Not as bad, but like, what are you gonna have to give up in there? A Brandon Ingram, or you're gonna have to give up Emmanuel quickly, and then what's left after you piece it all together? I don't know. Maybe they have more draft capital than I know. Um, because
I mean,
that's the one thing that I've seen with a lot of these, other than Luka Doncic, of course. Like Rudy Gobert got 6 picks. Mikael Bridges got like 5 picks. I think Donovan Mitchell got about 6 or so. So it's like, huh, the Jazz have plenty of picks after the Gobert and Mitchell trade. There you go, Giannis. Um, so yeah, I just wonder if that's going to be the difference maker, is a team that actually has it, or I mean, the Knicks can give up enough players, but then you're giving up Cat. You think you're giving up Mikel in that too?
I'd say so, yeah.
So then you're going to return with a team of Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Giannis. Giannis probably playing the 4. I guess Mitchell. You can't really put Mitchell Robinson out there at the 5 with Giannis on the floor.
That is a good point.
So
Maybe
I'm
you offer
trying to
Mitchell instead and then picks or something. I don't know.
if you can somehow get rid of Mitchell Robinson, you might have to give up Deuce McBride, which that's kind of sad. I love him in a Knicks jersey for
Yeah.
no reason, but would love to see him maybe able to extend and roll it in Milwaukee as well. So I'd question. It's one of those moves that, like, yeah, on paper, getting Giannis on the Knicks is going to look great, but how is that fit going to work? It'll get you to the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs, maybe, or in this East, maybe to the Eastern Conference Finals. But at the end of the day, it's going to be the team that's better fit that's going to end up winning and getting to the finals. So it's also something that trading for Giannis now gets you, what, 3 years of him.
Yeah.
So you also would get time to build around Giannis. But when that Jalen Brunson contract back half hits, are you really going to? And you already have the expensive Giannis contract.
True.
Are you really going to be able to build around Giannis like you want to? I don't know. I don't know. Giannis creates an interesting fit on any team. I think the Warriors, for sure, have the best fit. And then the T Wolves are a team that were mentioned as a team going for him. I guess that's a Julius Randle.
Putting him next to Gobert makes no sense to me, but sure.
That defense is
That
absolutely
defense is really
nasty.
good, but yeah.
Like, that might be the one thing that actually makes Rudy Gobert not a defensive liability, because he doesn't have to guard the perimeter. Giannis has that covered. But
There's no spread offense though, right there with that. So
yeah,
that's rough.
Giannis gonna have to figure out how to shoot threes.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because another thing I wanted to bring up was I wonder if this is going to set a different precedent because the last couple trades we've had are Luka Doncic, insane deal, and Trey Young, who basically went for no picks. So
That is a good point. A lot of undervalue.
are we going in that direction, or is Giannis going to again set a new precedent and it's going to be 24 first round picks or something like that? So I am
Yeah.
very interested to see which way it goes, and we only have a week to find out. So I'm very excited about that. Thank you, Giannis, for not announcing this 2 months ago.
Yeah, shout out Giannis for waiting it out,
Uh,
making everybody have to rush.
but we will come at you next week with a definitely trade deadline type show
Hmm.
to highlight all those. So I'm looking forward to that. But for me, I wanted to bring up the Lakers. Let's discount or forget all about what's happening in Cleveland tonight. It's LeBron's probably last time playing there, so he's emotional. It's all right. Anyways, before that, Lakers winners for the last five by an average of 11 points, fringing on the 4 or 5 seed. Luka and LeBron playing out of their minds, and Austin Reeves is anyways, redact that from the podcast uh, and from your memories. Austin Reeves was supposed to be back for this game, but I guess that means he'll be back next one. So look out for the Lakers, just not in Cleveland. And the next thing I had was just my unrivaled breakdown, really quick. Another exciting week in 3-on-3 basketball. Some highlights. Paige Becker shined, 25 points per game in 2 games this week. So she's still balling. The Laces improved to 6-1. Brittany Sykes had 31 points against the Breeze, a team that we thought might be at the top of the standings over there in Unrivaled. She showed them what's up. So good for her. And Chelsea Gray, again, another MVP performance. It's really hers to lose at this point. 34 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists in the win versus the Phantom. So another exciting weeks. A couple more blowouts than we've had in the past couple weeks. Just that's just how the ball rolls sometimes. But it was still very exciting weeks. Very exciting individual performances on and unrivaled. And I'm looking forward to next week. And the one-on-one tournament is coming up very very soon, and I cannot wait for that.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
but we will go ahead and move on to our NBA Pick'em, where we pick our winners for the biggest games in the association this week. And the first one I have is Friday at 10 p.m. on ESPN. Detroit at Golden State. Colton, who you got?
I was looking ahead, and I had a feeling you might pick this one. And I'm just going to go with Detroit. They have the best record against teams above 500 this year. I think that's 17 teams that are currently above 500. So, uh, with that, I think the Warriors sit around 500. So, uh, they should be that should be a good win for the Pistons. I feel like their offense still has yet to really find itself, and they just continue to win games. They lost to the Rockets, I believe, on a rest deficit recently. But other than that, they have been pretty baller. I mean, this is about the only team in the East that I think has a chance of winning a championship. They beat the Celtics again, making them 3-1 against the Celtics this year. So the Celtics are really the only other team that's shown much. The Knicks have, at their peak, looked like a championship team to me, but the Pistons just look like they're in a different league than the rest of the East, which is words I never thought I would say, much less think I would say within if you would have told me almost a year ago, probably. So shout out the Pistons looking nasty, and shout out to okay. Why you ever just have somebody's name in your head and they just leave? Their head coach, JB Bickerstaff.
Bickerstaff, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to him because I feel like he's one of the more underappreciated coaches of the last decade. I mean, he went to the Celtics, the Cavaliers, and built that team. And that team is honestly, outside of an impressive last year, haven't looked much better this year.
True.
So maybe a little beginner's luck for Kenny Atkinson. I don't think that's the case. I think Kenny Atkinson is also a great coach, but whatever's going on this year has been a little odd, a little off, a lot of injuries. But still, I think to do what he's done with this team in just what 2 years, second year, it's
Mm-hmm.
mad impressive. And I think he better get coach of the year this year, and I think he deserves to be talked about more often in coaching talks.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Some things I was just looking at. Only 2 teams are better than Golden State in terms of home record. That's OKC, probably the best team in the league, and the New York Knicks, maybe the toughest place to play in all of basketball. So that's a pretty impressive home record to put up with those guys. But Detroit is also tied for second with the least amount of road losses. So something's got to give, and I think it's the post. And I think Detroit has a big advantage there right now, for now. But yeah, I think Detroit wins this one, and hopefully it's close, but we'll see.
Hmm.
And then the second one I have is Friday, 9 p.m. on League Pass. So you're just gonna have to switch back and forth between these two games. Still, make sure you watch them. Cleveland at Phoenix. Who you got?
I'm gonna rock with Cleveland on this one. There's been a little positive momentum with the Cavs here, especially tonight. If I can pull up this
Yeah,
score
yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, I'm just no, I think there's definitely been some positive momentum in the Cavs organization. I feel like they've been trending in the right direction. So I'm gonna go with them. The Suns haven't necessarily they've also been better, but I think as the last week looks, not so much. So give
Hmm.
me Cleveland in this one.
Yeah, I'm a big momentum guy, and Phoenix has struggled at least in this last week. Dylan Brooks had a couple blowups. What's new in a couple of games, but uh, maybe the offensive production comes back here soon. Cavs have won.
Perhaps you shouldn't be relying on Dylan Brooks.
Cavs have won 6 of the last 7, maybe 7 of the last 8. It's alleged at this point, but I think this game is going to
No, I
be.
think that says final.
I think this game is going to be close because Mobley is out. He's out for 2 or 3 weeks, but I do see Cleveland still winning this one in a tight one. And we will go ahead and move on to our shooting star, where we pick our baller of the week. Colton, who you got?
I'm going to Unrivaled to actually tune into a game and watch
Nice,
Kalea
nice.
Cooper drop a 28 piece in the Rose or it'd just be the Rose, I guess, or the
Rose Basketball
Roses.
Club is what they go by.
I'm
Basketball
trying to think of
Club.
I guess I don't know why I struggled on the plural of Rose. The Roses win over the Phantom. And she did it the old school way. A lot inside, did knock down 2 threes, I believe, but was doing it the tough way inside, and it was a lot of fun to watch them get that win. So shout out Kalea Cooper. She is my baller of the week.
Yeah, she is definitely tough. Propelled them to that USA win over France. So uh,
Mhm.
she will always be big time here in the States. Mine is Luka Doncic. I was a big fan of the Lakers this week until someday, maybe tonight. Um, I had another great January 26th performance. Had 73 on that date last year, and had 46 points and 11 assists against the Bulls on that date this year. So he's been fantastic on that date, but he's also been fantastic this whole season. Still should be at the top of many leaderboards for MVP. He's been great, and can't wait to see what he does after tonight because tonight was a stinker.
Can't wait
But
to bet the over on that date next year, and then he only dropped 2 points.
some other things I wanted to mention stats wise, because I knew I wrote some stuff down and I did. He ties Shaq for the most Lakers 45-point double doubles with 4, which I can't believe like that's the record
In a
for all
season
of
or
Lakers
in a
history.
season or all of
A
Lakers
career,
history?
yeah. And
Wow.
joins Wilt Chamberlain and Walt Bellamy as only players to score 2,000 points in their first 65 games with a franchise. He now has more 45-point career games than 99% of NBA history. So that's pretty decent, I suppose.
So
And
how
he
old are we now?
and he joins Elgin Baylor as the only Laker with 45 points and 10 assist games, multiples of those. So Luka Doncic, in his short time, already making very great Lakers history. And again, thank you so much, Nico Collins.
Uh, Luka Doncic is
Oh, Harrison,
26.
Nico Harrison. I said Nico Collins.
It's okay. I don't think Nico Collins. He blew a season-long bet for me, so screw that guy. Uh, 26 years old. That's the age of Luka Doncic. What's the prime considered to be like 25 to 30?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Get this guy a couple championships, and we could be having some interesting conversations on his career.
Yeah, Giannis would be very nice, but we're going to be okay if we don't get him. So I'm not sweating that too
Giannis,
much.
Giannis and Luca gives me a
Um,
headache to think
Imagine
about.
those pick and rolls. That's all I'm saying. They
I,
would be
ca- I
pretty good, I'd say.
can't wait for the Pacers to get back to the finals next year, and it's Luca and Giannis we have to go against this time.
Two behemoths. Yeah, that'll be fun. But that will do it for this episode of the Restricted Area Podcast. Thank you, Colton, for being on the show. Follow the show's YouTube at CX Restricted Area and follow the CX crew on all socials at CX Pod Network. You can follow me on Twitter at The Will Deal and Colton at Colt_45. That's 3 T's, as always. And thank you all for watching and listening. And until next week, like an indoor basketball court, be smooth.